We're mainly PRS shooters, but we also participate in the Geisley gas gun series, which Drew is match director for. We're gonna take you through one of the gas gun setups we use, how to clean it with our NanoGuard cleaners, and then we'll punch the bore and clean up some of that. Starting out at the front, there's a ModTac suppressor cover. These are very effective at mitigating mirage. We really like them. I think you'll probably start to see these trickle into the PRS world as well. We got a Hux suppressor on here. This particular rifle, which is Drew's, is chambered in 22 ARC. It is a Geisley GFR. MDT Skypod up front, very versatile. Night Force attacker on top with a Trijicon SRO red dot on the top of it. With a Geisley mount, the buttstock that's on this is a Magpul DTPR. It's really nice because it has kind of a bag rider situation here, but it's not as heavy or long as their PRS stocks.
And this rifle right now, I shot a match with it this past, well, 2 weekends ago, haven't cleaned it yet. So this system right now has about 250 rounds on it. This is your bolt carrier, and inside your bolt carrier is your bolt. On top of your bolt carrier is your gas key. A lot of times if your weapon stops functioning, these 2 screws up here are staked, they'll loosen up, and what happens, it bleeds off gas and will not function your rifle. Just bring it to your local gunsmith and they'll restake that.
Breaking down your bolt carrier, first thing you want to do is go remove the cotter pin that holds the firing pin in. You can get the firing pin out just by tapping it out after that cotter pin comes out. Then you've got your cam pin, which you'll need to rotate to pull out.
And another little awesome note about Geisley's, they engrave a little arrow on that cam to let you know which way to put it in.
Yeah, so when you reinstall it, because it is a directional cam pin, that you put it right back in the same way. So after all that comes out, then your bolt will pop right out the front, which is absolutely disgusting. And then you've just got your carrier, which is what's left. So as you can see, my hands are getting filthy. So we're gonna go ahead and hit all this stuff first with the cleaner, second with the CLP, and then when we do a final assembly, we'll hit it all with the gun oil, get it all slicked up and ready to go.
One thing I like to do when I'm cleaning my bolts too, take the extractor out. I mean, there's all kinds of carbon and crap underneath that extractor. So it's very, very important to pull that extractor out and clean that. Another thing you guys want to look at is where the extractor grabs a hold of the rim. It's just caked full of carbon. You want to get all that carbon out so you can get full engagement on that head case rim so it'll pull it out of your chamber. When you're cleaning this thing, make sure your ejector is still working. And all I really do is push it in and make sure it comes back up. Make sure she's not hard going in. I mean, you're gonna feel some resistance because there's a spring behind there, but make sure she's not sticking and she pops out good.
One of the most stubborn areas of a bolt carrier group is right here behind the gas rings and this little piston area here. Usually you have to use a scraper. We didn't need to. All the carbon came right off. It is completely carbon free. Worked really well. A good way to test if your gas rings are still good, your bolt carrier should be able to support the weight of itself if you set it down.
So if it collapses, Patty, go ahead and push on it. If it collapses like that with no weight on it, all you have to do is replace those rings on your bolt. Sometimes your bolt carrier will wear out, depends on what bolt carrier you're running. Sometimes they do wear out. That's kind of rare. Just usually put a set of rings in there and you're good to go.
So now we're just gonna hit everything that we took out and cleaned with the heavy duty cleaner. We're gonna hit it with the CLP, just get a good protective coating back onto it before we do final assembly and lube it back up.
And guys, don't worry about the color.
It's got a bunch of additives in it and things like that. Looks a little nasty, but
it's gonna look like used motor oil. Trust me, it works.
So just put it on, wipe it off, and it'll leave a good protective sheen on it. You can see those parts were looking real dry before. Now they're looking nice and glossy and lubed up.
Guys also wanna look at that bolt face.
Yeah, get any brass shavings, things like that out that are knocked off by your ejector or extractor, and make sure you get all that crud out of there.
All right, guys, before we reassemble, put this bolt carrier back into the upper receiver, we're gonna separate the lower from the upper, and we are going to look inside this and see how dirty it is. Especially right up here, that's where the gas key fits. As that bolt comes back, it's gonna pull out of that gas tube. And that's why this thing gets so dirty, because it's just gonna spew gas and carbon and unburnt, powder all back in there. So cleaning this section is very, very important as well. And I'm gonna hand that off to Patty.
Great, thanks.
I don't wanna get dirty. The trigger system, it hardly gets dirty. Not saying you don't have to clean it, You can just wipe it down. Most of the grime and grit is going to be in your upper.
I'm just putting some of our CLP inside of here and cleaning up some of the carbon. And it's, oh God, it's pretty thick and nasty in here. So I think I'm actually gonna go back and hit it with heavy duty. I thought maybe it was clean enough to hit it without it, but I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put the heavy duty cleaner in here and flush it out because it is disgusting.
I'm just wiping some carbon off. As soon as Patty gets done with that, a lot of carbon gets caught up in the magwell. You don't want your magwell all full of crap and gump, because when you want to drop your mag and reload, you just want that mag to drop out. You don't want to have to reach up and pull your mag out. Every match, I'll take this and I'll soak this in CLR or CRL. What is
CLR.
it? CLR. Overnight, about 24 hours. And then I'll take it and run it under hot water and I can pound it. And all the carbon and stuff that's stuck in here will come out. It's very important you do that. If you do not clean your suppressor, carbon will break off the inside of this suppressor as you shoot, and it can cause you to have a baffle strike. That's the worst case, and it does happen quite a bit.
You can have malfunctions induced by that carbon. As you get ready for a stage and you're holding your rifle up in the air, that carbon can come loose, go down your bore, get stuck between your casing and your chamber and jam you up pretty quick.
All suppressor companies will tell you the weight of their suppressors. So you can just take your suppressor and put it on a scale. If it's a half a pound more, you got a ton of carbon in it.
I have a note in my phone with all my suppressors. When I get a new suppressor, I just put it on a scale. I note the weight because you might have additional adapters or something like that that might change the weight of it from the manufacturer. So I just make a notepad. I note the weight of my suppressor when I buy it. After it is an ounce or two heavier, I clean it. So we're just using a bore solvent. The NanoGuard and the heavy duty cleaner and the gun oil are great for cleaning up carbon, fouling and things like that. But for a bore with the copper in it and all that, I prefer to use a dedicated bore solvent. So that's what we're doing now. We're just gonna put some of this on this brush, give it some strokes.
And guys, just a pro tip as well.
Get a bore guide.
Yeah. That's not where I was going, but yeah, get a bore guide.
We forgot our bore guide, so again, do as we say, not as we do. Use a bore guide so you're ensuring you're coming in and out of that barrel and chamber straight.
We usually go up 1 or 2 calibers on your brush size. So right now, I think this is a 6 mil brush in a 224 barrel.
That makes a lot of sense.
You're just getting more contact through the barrel in your lands and grooves, and just makes cleaning a lot easier.
And your brushes last longer actually because there's more material there. So
after you're done, if you guys want to save these brushes, because this solvent will just eat your brushes quick, all you got to do is rinse them with water. Just take them in the kitchen sink. Your wife will be happy that I told you that. But just rinse them with water and they will look brand new, and they will last you probably 2-3 times as long.
They're just cleaning basically the threads and mating surfaces, because this is a taper mount style on this suppressor. So it relies on 2 tapers to come together, and if you don't have that clean, it can loosen up on you or not get as tight as it should over time. So we're just cleaning the carbon off that taper mount.
There's a lot of people that won't remove their suppressors when they're pushing a patch through or even a brush. That is a huge no-no. Don't brush it, and definitely do not send a patch through your barrel with the suppressor on, because if you lose that patch inside the suppressor, there's really no way to get it back out. Don't shoot it, because you're gonna have a baffle strike, and if you're close to someone, that could be, catastrophic. Guys, when you're cleaning them, if you can look at that, you want to keep throwing patches through there until you don't get any more carbon or black on there. The good thing to do while you're cleaning this is to put scope caps on it, because any solvents can take off the coating of the lenses. If you're running a high-end scope, any of these solvents can damage the coatings on your scope. So run scope caps. Once you're done and you assemble the rifle and everything, just take a little Zeiss wet lens cleaner and go ahead and wipe down your lenses. Make sure you clean the lenses of your scope.
Also, when you finish cleaning, this applies to a bolt gun or a gas gun. Those cleaning solvents and things like that can kind of act as lubricants. So when you finish cleaning your bore and your chamber and everything, you want to go through everything and use an alcohol wipe or a brush without rubbing alcohol on it. Clean your chamber out, make sure you get all those cleaning solvents out, because when you shoot either gas gun or bolt gun, you can get pressure signs. One of the ways that they function is your brass expands and grips onto the walls of the chamber. If there's a lubricant in between the brass during that firing process, you can have a lot of rearward pressure on both your bolt carrier or your bolt on a bolt action and get false pressure signs. So make sure you get your chamber cleaned out of any solvents or leftover residue from your cleaning process. All right, so patches are all clean coming out of the bore. So now we're gonna give this thing a final little wipe down before we reassemble, give it a good coat of oil on all the friction surfaces. We're gonna put the bolt carrier back together. I'm putting a drop of our oil on some of the wear spots.
Gas guns aren't like bolt guns. Gas guns like to run wet. Not dripping wet, but don't be afraid to get them quite heavily wet. They will run better and you will have less malfunctions with them. A lot of times when we take these weapon systems apart, you don't always get them back together 100%. So it's always a good thing when you put it back together, just dry fire it, function test it, make sure they're still operating.